Here are the answers for the day 4 BOERC. Evaluate each answer and round to the correct number of digits. Don't forget to include the label with your answer. Question A is an adding problem. 3 measurements are added together. When doing an adding problem in chemistry, the rule about rounding the answer is that whichever measurement in the calculation has the least number of digits after the decimal point, then the answer can only have that number of digits after the decimal point. The first number in the calculation goes to the tenths position, the second number to the hundredths position, the third number to the thousandths position. The final answer must be rounded to the tenths position because of the first number. Whichever measurement in an adding calculation has the least number of decimal digits, that controls the number of decimal digits in the answer. On a calculator, the answer is 28.181. But the correctly rounded answer is 28.2. This goes to the tenths position because the first number in the calculation goes to the tenths position. Question B is a multiplication problem. The rounding rule for multiplication is different from the rounding rule for addition. For multiplication, it's necessary to count up the number of significant figures in each measurement. And whichever measurement in the calculation has the least significant figures, that will control how many significant figures are included in the rounded answer. The first measurement, 40 milligrams, has 1 significant figure. When counting significant figures in a measurement, any zeros on the end of the number are not counted unless they come after a decimal point. The second number in the calculation is 12.6. That has 3 significant figures. When counting significant figures in a measurement, all digits that are not zeros are counted as significant. One of the numbers in the product has 1 significant figure, the other number has 3 significant figures. The final answer must be rounded to have 1 significant figure. On a calculator, the result is 504, but that has to be rounded to 500. Because 500 has only 1 significant figure, the digit 5. Remember that zeros on the end of a number are not called significant unless they come after a dot. You can't leave the number 504 because that has 3 significant figures, and that's too many. Question C is another multiplication problem. So think about your 2 rules for rounding answers. One rule applies for adding problems. The other rule applies for multiply problems. For multiplication problems, figure out how many significant digits are in each measurement. The first measurement has 4 significant figures. There is a 0 on the end, but that 0 comes after a decimal point, so it is counted as significant. The other measurement has 2 significant figures. Zeros that are at the beginning of a number are not counted as significant. One of the numbers has 4 significant figures, the other has 2 significant figures, and that's the one that controls how many significant figures are in the rounded answer. On a calculator, the result is 0.1281, but that needs to be rounded to 0.13. This has 2 significant figures, and this one has 4, which was too many. I almost forgot the label. So let me go back to all 3 of these and write down the correct label. The first one is centimeters. The next one is particles, because the milligrams label cross cancels away. And the last one is moles, because the liter labels cancel away. Again, in chemistry, you always have to put a label next to your measurement.